Hi, I'm Tom Uskup from GreenSorb.com, and welcome to GreenSorb TV once again. And we're here in a garage setting again. We did another example showing you how we clean up oil stains with GreenSorb. Now we're going to show you how we can clean up regular motor oil that's been drained out of a car. What we have here for this setup is obviously some GreenSorb. We need that. This is our GS4 sized bottle, and then we also have our GS10 size. Both these are available for many retailers, particularly web retailers. Just check out our where to buy page at greensorb.com and figure out, which is your favorite retailer that you'd like to get GreenSorb from. We also have a whisk broom and dustpan, and I'm not obviously dressed for changing oil, but I have changed oil. A lot of people are doing it most of the days these days to save a few dollars. It's a relatively easy task to do around the garage, but from time to time, not often, people will have some type of a little spill dealing with the container that collects the oil. And then also we have down here some what's known as antifreeze to just about everyone, but it's a substance called ethylene glycol, which is very dangerous to pets and to children. And if you spill some of this material on the garage floor, you absolutely have to get it up right away, because it can kill pets and it's poisonous to kids. So we're going to show how GreenSorb works on both of these substances. And we have previously drained some motor oil into this safe collection plastic bottle. And we're going to open the reservoir side up here, and we're going to pour just a little bit out. And we don't want to show you a huge spill. We just want to give you an idea of how GreenSorb works. And so we're just going to get a little bit of oil out here on the floor, and then we're going to cap it back up. So push that out of the way, and then I'm going to pour out, what might also happen would be a little bit of antifreeze type of a spill. If you're working on your radiator, that's another type of application that's pretty easy to work on in a garage. So we're going to pour out the typical green antifreeze and give you an idea of what that looks like. We're going to leave that here underneath the car, which is where most of these kinds of spills occur. We're going to take some GreenSorb out of the typical GS4 container now, and we're going to spread this. And it's going to seem like we're going to spread a lot, but actually bear in mind it's really not that much material. So we're going to go ahead and just cover this spill, which is what's on the directions of the GreenSorb bottle. And we're just going to cover the light film, and we're just going to give it a little bit of time to work and start to have its action, which in GreenSorb's case is a wicking action. It begins to draw the spill fluid into the inner particle structure. And you'll note that GreenSorb never really changes. It doesn't turn to mud, it doesn't turn to paste like some of our competing brands that we go up against do, but in our case it stays the same characteristics, and the aspect of the particle is that it's kind of a platelet structure, and it will draw the oil and the ethylene glycol or fuels or whatever into the inner particle structure. Now you know that we're just going to try to increase the surface area. We're going to probably have to add a little bit more GreenSorb to this, but which we will right now. Grab the handle so that we can. This is a very thick fluid, the motor oil. It's a lot thinner when it comes out of the jar, and most of the examples that you see on the web are more or less people using brand new motor oil, which is not that thick, doesn't have any metals in it like this stuff does. The dark motor oil is going to have a lot of metal in it. And you notice that the GreenSorb is basically just a tan color, and where it's getting darker is where it's really absorbing the oil and the ethylene glycol. And so what we're doing is we're just moving this around, mixing it in. You can see that the GreenSorb is getting darker. It is working and soaking up the spill. The longer that you let GreenSorb sit on the spill, the better, but you can see it's already breaking up and handling the spill quite nicely. and drying it up. Now, if you wanted to get the garage floor very clean, like we did in another video example where we showed you how to remove old oil stains, you could simply add a solvent in here to, continue the cleaning aspect of GreenSorb. But you can see that right away that it's fairly dry. We haven't really used that much GreenSorb for the spill. Obviously, it wasn't a huge spill, but we can continue to add just a little bit more to help draw it in. And again, it's just a light film that we're adding. We give it a little bit of time to draw in, mix it in, and the more that you allow the GreenSorb to be mixed in, the drier it gets, and it's safe to handle. This pile here, we could actually throw this into a 5-pound or 5-gallon bucket just to kind of store for the next spill, and we might be able to get some more range out of this GreenSorb here. It might be able to soak up just a little bit more together with some other GreenSorb, and you can kind of begin to get the idea how GreenSorb keeps working for you beyond the first spill. Now this is just a little bit damp here, but eventually that will dry. And what you have is you have a fairly dry, safe surface now. Something that you're probably going to be a little bit a safer situation around your garage. And then all we would do is simply just sweep this into the dustpan, and you have a cleaned up surface. And so if I'm like most of you guys, your knees can't take kneeling down for that long, but this happened in about 3 or 4 minutes, which is the typical time frame GreenSorb takes to absorb most spills. And this is just one of many applications in the garage. GreenSorb will work on transmission fluid, power steering fluid. We've demonstrated it on fuels, jet fuels, hydraulic fluids. So consider GreenSorb. As I said, check out our website at greensorb.com to find retailers that offer GreenSorb on their websites for sale. And you can always contact the company if you're a larger commercial customer and like to buy direct from us. I'm Uskup from greensorb.com, and thanks for watching GreenSorb TV.